We'll try and tell you what things are as we go along. So, let's get going.
I'm not sure.
There we go, we can even see the white fibres there, which are actually the body of the fungus. And then this is like the flower of the fungus. It's the reproductive organ. So it's the thing that comes up when it's nice and wet and is safe for it to form without drying out. And this one, like most puffballs, just eventually splits open at the top. But if we have a look inside, we have a beautiful dark mass of spores. See that white material on the back? That's another type of fungus. And that'll be breaking down that grass tree, which is very difficult to break down. So this is one of the important group of fungi that break down all this woody material in the bush. An intact flora of fungi is only going to be present in good quality bushland like this. If you get bushland that's degrading, you're going to lose the diversity of fungi that you've got present because they're so closely associated with the plants and the animals and everything else that's going on in the ecosystem. Once it starts getting degraded, you're going to lose your diversity. And there we go, Danielle's going to dig down deep underneath it so that we can bring up any of the underground parts that are important for identification. Beautiful job. All right, and Danielle's going to do a nice little wrap there in wax-proof paper, which allows the fungi to breathe a little bit and keeps the moisture in. So that'll be breaking down that really tough Banksia bark. Yeah. And we find that the Banksia bark is actually really good for finding fungi because it acts a lot like a sponge. It holds a lot of water, so it keeps the moisture. Look, when we bring it up, that bright yellow, that is another fungus feeding on this old mushroom. And you can see it's all in the soil there. Fungi have their own fungi that feed on them, just like anything else. There's always something else that's going to come along and eat it. So there's various ways of getting your spores out into the air. You can have gills, you can have pores, or you can have teeth. And we actually do have teethed fungi in here as well.
Got a bit of yellow.
Oh yes, it has got the yellow bolete eater on it. But this one's a nice intact young specimen of the actual bolete. So there's a whole load more here on this piece of bark as well if you want to have a look. And then it's formed a little pad here to the side of the wood so it can send up its fruiting bodies. Might take a bit of that back. There we go. Perhaps we could get Mary demonstrating a lolly twist. This was developed by Roger Hilton, who was at the University of Western Australia. He was the only person who was teaching fungi for many years, and he was the one who trained a lot of us. We've got the scarlet bracket fungus, very common. You'll probably see it around parks and things. That fungus has got orange hyphae and they're everywhere through this log, breaking it down. And it's just put up this little shelf to distribute its spores. So you can see the fungi are there all the time, it's just that we only really notice them when they put up their structures to, like mushrooms and toadstools, to distribute their spores, or this one's like a bracket fungus. At the moment we've got about 300 species or more that are recorded from here over the last 10 years. And that would just be the tip of the iceberg. In 2005, the Perth Urban Bushland Fungi Project came to Warwick Bushland and they ran a survey across our site and found all kinds of new fungi that we hadn't even seen before. The results are written up and published online in a report that you can find. As a result of doing this study, Neil Bowger and his team have been able to produce a free downloadable field guide to the fungi of the Perth region and beyond. So that's something that you can go and look at and find out what your local fungi are. And if there's not a picture there, it might be worth contacting Neil. You may have something new to science.